Nintendo are the kings of interior design, and no game shows that off better than Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Chip, you're not the host. You're not the host of this show.
I want Blackfeather to be a cozy game. I love
Coziness.
I want to be so cozy. Detective games are just like the perfect opportunity for coziness. The rain gently tapping on the windows as you sit in the diner with your hot cup of coffee and try to turn over this mystery in your head, solving what it means. And I felt like the interior design was a perfect opportunity for me to showcase that. The most obvious place to start is with the camera angle, which I actually think might matter more than the art style. Look at Animal Crossing New Horizons, or The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening remake, or Tunic, or Dredge, or anything that you would consider to be cozy. It is almost always a medium zoom, 3/4 or isometric camera angle. Obviously, I know that there are exceptions to this. One of my favorite cozy games is Slime Rancher, and that's first person. But I think that the cozy game sweet spot is this middle ground third person view. So why is this? I do have a theory for why this is the best camera angle for cozy games. I think it sits right in the Goldilocks zone of cozy. So let's first consider one extreme end. Let's go way zoomed out. Like, way zoomed out. Think StarCraft or Warcraft, or maybe even League of Legends or Dota. Each of the characters on the screen is honestly just a few pixels, and I think this is why it's not cozy. Assets for games like this try to maximize on color and shape because they want things to stand out even when they're tiny on the screen. But this doesn't leave a lot of room for expressing coziness and expressing cuteness through your asset design. It inherently puts more constraint on the details, and a lot of times, the cute little details are what makes something cozy. Think about the steam rising off a hot cup of cocoa. You're not gonna see the steam in the mug that your Space Marine is holding in StarCraft when you have 100 Space Marines running around, even if they were holding a cup of coffee. Let's go to the other extreme and talk about first person. Like I already mentioned, Slime Rancher is an incredibly cozy game that is first person. It's not impossible to do, but I have a different theory for why first person isn't necessarily the best, especially as an indie cozy game developer. I actually think it's incredibly difficult for an indie studio to make any game that's first person because of the amount of detail that you need. And if you do want to be an indie studio making a first person game, it's almost inevitable that you have to buy some assets, and you just have less control over the art at that point. And I do think there's a second problem with some first person games. They're too realistic. Let's be real. Real life is not cozy. It's actually quite uncozy. It's uncozy. Cozyless. A-cozy.
Anti-cozy.
Life is anti-cozy. So that's what I went with. Now you'll notice that unlike Animal Crossing, my camera actually follows the player around indoor spaces. This mostly comes from the fact that I have bigger spaces than games like Animal Crossing, spaces for the players to explore. So I needed to have the camera follow them or risk zooming out so far that you lose the detail. I started with the diner, as I've been doing for basically everything in the game. I started by blocking out the scene and putting in some chairs and some countertops, just basic stuff. And I actually want to show you a nifty thing I did. I wrote a little script in Unreal so that I can make these walls and floors completely adjustable. I just have to change these values and they just tile perfectly. I've used this script everywhere from sidewalks to walls to floors to bookshelves, anything that needs to be tiled over and over again. It's really nice to just be able to slap this script in there. Okay, so I started getting some specific assets I actually wanted to be in the game for real. Of course, I'm gonna need kitchen supplies, a grill, countertops, stools, stainless steel things, just like diners tend to have. I need some booths, some tables, some wall decor. Make it
Jazzy.
not too jazzy though. It is still a diner in the middle of nowhere with probably not very much money. All right, so I've got some assets. I just have to arrange them, like interior design. This is actually, hey, this is kind of fun. I don't have to code anything. I just kind of like place objects in a scene and make it look nice. And hey, look at that. It looks pretty good. All right, so after that, I've got it down. It's just rinse and repeat. So let's do the bank. Seems easy enough. Let's put down some drab floor that looks kind of nasty and some like off-white eggshell walls. Just really make the place feel like you're depressed, because really when you go to a small town bank, what's the primary feeling that you want to feel other than depressed? Bung down some chairs, some tables, some desks, sprinkle in some garbage, not actual garbage, just like knickknacks and stuff so that it makes it look, lived in, used. Oh yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. I have never wanted to step into a dying bank more in my life than I do right now. In fact, I still do not want to step into this bank, but it looks good. It looks better than any bank I've ever been in. That's also a lie. Better than any virtual bank I've ever been in, which is 0. Hardware store. Let's do the hardware store. That one's fun. I gave it some concrete floors. That's like a typical hardware store thing to do, right? Concrete floors. I don't do hardware, so I don't know what the hell a hardware store looks like, but I looked up some pictures. Do I look like the kind of guy who builds a house? Okay, that I might, because of the beard and the... Do I sound like the kind of guy who's gonna build a house, go to the hardwood store, hardware? No, the answer is no. I never go to the hardware store. Plop down some shelves, plop down some things on the shelves. Wall of hammers, that's a hardware store thing. Piles of wood, also very hardware. Random boxes lying around, that's something you find in a hardware store. Oh, don't forget the cigs at the cash register. Can't forget to kill ourselves while we're building a house. Man, look at that. Look, man, it looks great. We've got ourselves a little late 20th century hardware store going. This is great. This is fun. Let's do another one. Let's do the grocery store. That's a big one. So we're just gonna throw some aisles down, aisles and aisles of just nondescript boxes. Let's make a fruit section. Let's make a bread section. Checkout. Let's put a couple checkout aisles. It's a small town store, so it's probably not gonna have a ton of checkout, but it's gonna have a couple aisles. Don't forget, everybody smokes these carcinogenic dirt sticks, so we gotta put those up at the front counter. Library. We need books. We need tons of books. We need books and books and books and then books. Oh my God. It took forever to make all these books. I probably could have done this faster, but I copy pasted individual books or rows of books. And I filled this entire library by hand with books. But it looks good though. Okay, we can slow down a bit. I could use dessert. I could use an ice cream store, making the checkered floor all cute like the diner. Let's add a little ice cream shop sign. Ooh, let's sprinkle in some fun ice cream flavors. I don't know what these flavors are, but they're colorful. Brain freeze. Oh, that's better. So that's what I've been up to the past month. I did not make a video last month because honestly, I've been in a bit of a rut with Blackfeather. I haven't felt like working on it. I've had a bit of a case of the unmotivaties recently, and it's starting to feel kind of bad. This is the first time in this project where I've lost momentum. So I want to talk a little bit about that. I'm not exactly sure why that's the case. I have a feeling that it's a mix of things. My work schedule has honestly been sort of brutal, and I've been taking on a lot more responsibilities recently, and honestly, my brain has just been fixating on some of the problems I've had at work for the past couple months. Also, my ADHD and my OCD have been pretty bad this month. I have not been able to get the medicine that I've been taking recently to mitigate some of the side effects due to the amphetamine shortage, and I've sort of just felt off. I think I'm at the tail end of those feelings, and I have been able to get medicine since then, and I feel a lot better, but I think it's important to talk about that sort of thing in a devlog. I was very nervous to put myself out there and make that first devlog, but I'm so glad I did, and I'm really excited to be making this series. So I think it's important to stay candid and talk about how it feels to get through this process. And it has been hard this month. I have done hardly any work on Blackfeather, and that makes me feel guilty. I've been playing a lot of video games instead of working on one. And that's okay. I mean, I love video games. That's why I want to make Blackfeather, and I hope that other people out there will play it and enjoy it, just like I'm playing other games right now and enjoying them. But it's really hard not to feel guilty when I have something that I could be doing that seems more productive. It's a toxic mentality, and It's something that I am currently struggling with and will continue to struggle with. I'm not even kidding. I think another part of it is the fact that it's summer. I feel so bad in the summer because I'm a cozy boy. I'm a cozy boy. I do not like the summer. I feel so sluggish in the summer because all I want to do is be wrapped up in a little blanket, maybe two, and a beanie, and have my cup of coffee. Oh my God. I get giddy thinking about coziness. Oh my gosh. So moral of the story for this devlog is I love coziness, and I hope you love coziness too. That's all I got.